Hello, book besties.
I'm Albie.
And I'm Nikki,
Welcome to Backstage with the Book Babes.
where we spill the tea on the secret lives of your favorite romance authors.
We've got a fantastic sports author with us today, so we can't wait to introduce you to her. But first off, what have you been up to, Nikki?
I have been a little busy, I think. I feel like this week has been a lot because I am finishing up the edits on my cowboy romance, and then I'm getting ready. I've got an event next Saturday. It's the local book fair, so not like a romance specific big convention or anything, but it's my first one in a month, so that'll be nice. That's in St. Catharines, Ontario, the book fair, but we'll be past that when this one goes live. Actually, I should say Happy Canada Day because this one is going to be up on Canada Day. So that's kind of what's up.
Canada Day.
Yeah. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
I'm currently fostering a cute little kitten. I think she's like 5 weeks old right now, all black. Super cute. She sounds like a mixture of a pterodactyl and a falcon when I leave her alone. So I'm not being very productive. But that being said, I'm already getting ready to write and work on the next roller derby, The Wrong Piece, which comes out next February. I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, my derby's coming out in February too. Look at that. We can do a big launch thing. That'll be fun. Little launch
Let's
party.
coordinate. Yeah, it's almost like we planned these things together.
Almost like we do, but we didn't.
We actually don't.
What date did you pick? Do you ever pick the
I
date?
don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. It's up on pre-order on Amazon.
Yeah, so's mine. I don't know what date it is either. We'll
I have no
confer
idea.
later. Okay.
I'll text you.
Amazing.
Perfect. Yeah. So that's what's going on with us. But now we are very excited to introduce you to Ellie K Drake, a sporty book babe. Welcome to you, Ellie.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks
glad
for
to have
coming
you
on.
on. Yeah, and good to see you again. Could you tell us a little bit about your hockey series, the Milwaukee Steel Riders?
Absolutely. So I have 3 books out in my Milwaukee Steel Riders series. They're all hockey romances, all spicy rom-coms. They started with Ice Contact, which is about the team national anthem singer, and she meets a hockey player that sweeps her off her feet. I am myself a national anthem singer, so that's so Happy Canada Day because I sing Canada at so many hockey games, and I love it. Don't tell anybody, but I kind of like it better than.
I won't tell
than the Star
anybody
Spangled Banner.
except for everybody that's listening.
It's a really beautiful song. It really is. I love,
It is.
the Star Spangled Banner too, but it's a beautiful song. So Happy Canada Day. But yeah, so Olivia's a national anthem singer and she gets fired and dubbed by her boyfriend at the game. And then enter Hayes Larson, who sweeps her off her feet. And it's very insta love, a rom-com, very funny, but there's a great found family, bestie friends group in there. And then the next book is Ice Block, which is their 2 besties, and they have a one-night stand that goes great but doesn't end well. He ghosts her, and then 7 months later, they're stuck together at their friend's destination wedding, and wouldn't you know it, there's only one room, there's only one bed. These hospitality places, the hospitality industry just gets such a bad name in romance books, right?
They need to get their shit together.
Yeah. They never have rooms. They never have enough rooms. So anyway, so then that is Enemies to Lovers. It's only one bed. Again, all the same. The Steel Riders are all there. They're all on this vacation, right? And then book 3 is about Jordan Bougie. He is our young, his hero is Elle Woods. It's a lot of pop culture references. It's fake dating. He's in love with the older team pilot, female pilot, Kennedy Kramer. And she is kind of a no-nonsense black cat. She's focused on her career. She's not only a pilot for the team, she's in the Air National Guard. And so she's a great female, strong character. And they end up fake dating. Because she gets hit on and he runs to save the day. She doesn't really want that, but they end up figuring out that it's, good for both of them. And then they're also getting stalked.
Oh, no.
There's a little stalker element, so that has to kind of get resolved through the book. So very funny, lots of 90s, 2000s pop culture references. If you're a fan of, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, the proposal, Saved by the Bell. There's all those references are in the book. So it's probably my funniest book. but yet kind of has a little bit of romantic suspense in there, which I never imagined myself writing. But I only thought I was going to write one book also. So
Oh.
anyway, but so that's what's out so far. They're all available on Kindle Unlimited, Amazon, and Ice Contact and Ice Block are both on audio now too.
Exciting.
And they're anywhere you get
awesome.
audiobooks pretty much there. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
So you said you only planned on writing one book, but you ended up going on with a series. So they're obviously interconnected, being in the same team.
Right.
Can they be read out of order? And what made you decide
Yep.
to write the next book in the series?
Yeah, they can be read in any order. I actually have beta readers that read my books that haven't read the other ones just to make sure there's nothing that they don't understand. So it's very good standalone book, but they're all interconnected. Honestly, I started writing Ice Contact because I had went through a very bad breakup years ago. A lot of that story is kind of somewhat true. The villain is actually, for legal reasons, fictional. I'll just say that.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
it was very cathartic, right? I just had this idea. I was like, what if that really happened? And what if I was actually the full-time anthem singer and that was a gig I got paid for, and then suddenly I lost my job? And I thought that was a cool idea for a book. I literally just kind of like Elwood's, like, I think I'll go to law school. Like, I was like, I think I'll write a book today. I literally just sat down and it just poured out. I think I wrote it in maybe a month. And so, yeah, I had no idea it was going to be a series. But then as you start writing, I'm just to sit down and write. I'm not a plotter. I don't plot out my books. What's a book for about? I don't know. I haven't started it yet. So, you have rough ideas of who the characters are, but I sit down and I let the characters kind of talk to me as I'm writing. And Vladdy and Bougie were Hayes' teammates, and they just kind of spoke to me, and I kind of realized there was an opportunity to do books for both of them. Same for book 4 is it's an MMF. It's there's no title yet, but it's EJ and Tay and Hannah. That's going to be coming out in February. So they just spoke to me. They just told me what they wanted. Here I am. My fingers, let it all out. So yeah. That's the only reason there's a series. I felt like they were kind of had some fun characteristics and they could get their own book. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm not a plotter.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you said that they're spicy rom-coms. Like, how spicy are they on a scale of 1 to 5 chili peppers?
I feel like it's so subjective. I feel like Ice Contact is maybe like a 2 to 3. Ice Block is probably more like a 3 to 4. They have a one night stand. It's like, I write short chapters, but it's like 4 full chapters of spice, and they do just about everything that you can do. They are unhinged characters, and the spice scenes let you know that pretty fast.
Nice.
And then Ice Deek is probably also like a 2 to 3 range. Ice Deek is probably the least spice of all my books. So yeah,
nice. So I think you answered our next question already, but when you were talking about not plotting, not planning ahead, do you have any idea how many books are going to be in this series, or are you just kind of playing it by ear?
I believe book 4 is going to be the end of this series. I have a spinoff idea, which I can't talk about, but I have a spinoff idea in the works. I want to make sure I got all my ducks in a row before I announce that. But this will be the end of the actual Steel Riders series. And then because it's a spinoff, maybe some cameos here and there. But I do have a prequel novella coming out in September. That's a MM. It is Walt and Johnny, who are the bartenders throughout the series. I just kind of felt like they had this special place in my heart. They kind of are like meddling and trying to get all the kids, as they call them, together in the books, and canceling hotel reservations and doing all these things. So I just felt like they were just so sweet, and they give everybody advice at the bar, right? And so I wanted to talk about their origin story. And so there's that coming out. That's set back in the 1980s.
Wow.
So that's really kind of fun, kind of different. No cell phones, no internet, different time. And then, so that's coming out this fall. And then I also have a holiday novella that's kind of set in Milwaukee. And that is going to be with the team owner, who we have not met in any of the books yet. So it's kind of its own little standalone book. But there'll be some couple little cameos and references to fun things from the series, little Easter eggs for readers that have read the series to find. But again, it'll be a whole standalone. And that's about a Christmas tree decorator and the team owner who hates Christmas.
Yeah.
So, it's your typical like Hallmark Christmas show with, a little bit of hockey thrown in. So yeah, that'll be fun. I have some little spin-offs and novellas that'll come out all kind of set in the same world, but not necessarily with the same characters. So
That's very fun. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
So you have 2 more novellas coming out next year, and then your 4th full book comes out in February of next year. 2027.
Yes.
That's a lot going on. And you said that you wrote your first book in like 1 month. How fast are you writing these other?
I am a pretty fast writer. I know, Nikki, we do sprints together in
Yes.
a sprint group.
And Candy
So that's really
group, yeah.
fun in Candyland.
Yeah.
And so I am definitely like, my first drafts are just basically like a script. It's just a lot of dialogue, just basically trying to flush the plot out. And so I have 2 novellas drafted. They're actually drafted, and one's ready to go to edits. The other one, it needs work. But then I go back through and clean it up and add in like, what's happening in the room and different things like that. But I write pretty fast. It all just depends on my schedule. As a lot of indie authors do, a lot of us still work full-time jobs. And I'm in that boat. So my writing, I can't draft after work. Like, my brain's fried. I've been dealing with too many people all day, and I can do editing, but I can't draft. So my drafting usually all takes place on the weekends. But I'll write for a good 8 hours and knock out, quite a few words and try to, get as far as I can. But it kind of just depends. But I can knock a draft out in, 6 weeks if I really have to. Some of my shorter ones, especially. So Ice Deek was not that case. That was a grind. It was a grind, and I feel like I raced to finish. I didn't race to finish it, but I really pushed myself hard to finish that, to get to my editor on time. And it was the longest book. I think it's just cracked 400 pages. So most of mine are around the 350 range.
Yeah.
But I write pretty fast. My brain is just filled with stories, and I'm the person walking around the grocery store talking to myself. And it's usually, I finally just decided to put it all down on paper one day. And that's, So just, if you see me in the grocery store and I look like I'm talking to myself, I am.
Yeah.
That's fine. We all do it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't interrupt me. I'm in the middle of a draft.
Seriously.
Right.
Like,
Don't interrupt me. I have an idea.
someone walks up. Are you okay? Don't stop.
Yeah.
Don't break the flow.
The ideas are flowing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The enemies are about to become lovers.
Seriously.
Yeah. I dictate sometimes, and I've thought about like getting one of those old school headphones with like the mic that you would wear when you were younger, and be like, just walk around dictating as I'm doing things.
For some
Like, it'd be
reason,
so
dictating seems so, I feel like I
Yeah.
couldn't do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I'll
Mhm.
leave a voice note for myself if I'm driving or something, obviously, because I can't type. And I just hate it.
Yeah.
I hate listening to myself. I don't know what it is. It's just bizarre. Yeah. To say, like,
Yeah.
he looked across the room. And
Yeah.
it's just a weird,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird to me, but I feel like my fingers get it out faster. So.
I've tried too, and I feel the same way. It's like it doesn't come out the same way as when it's coming out of your fingers. Like, it's just
Yeah.
It's
I
so
wouldn't
weird,
do
but
it for,
everybody's
like, the
different, and
first
I'm
draft.
fascinated how
Yes.
everyone's brains
Yeah.
work differently. Like, it
Yeah.
just fascinates me.
Yeah. The way you do it with the outline of, or not outline, but the first draft of like all dialogue, that's what mine is, but it's all like stage blocking, actually. So it's like, he goes here, he says this, she goes there, she feels this, and
Wow.
so that's my first stage of my draft, and I can dictate that. Yeah, but it's
That's
exhausting.
crazy. Like, I just
Yeah.
love hearing, like, because that's my least favorite part of writing is that stuff. Like, I can do that's what everybody's saying, but yeah, my editor always gets it, and she's like, "This is very white room. Like, who's standing? Who's where?
Yeah.
Like, who's in
Yeah.
Those
Where
the
are they?"
questions. We always get those questions
Yeah.
about like what
Right.
or the sex scenes in there, and she's like, where is this? He didn't take off his underwear, or like, he was
Right.
over here, now she's
Where are
over
his
there.
hands? Yeah,
Where's his
Yeah.
hand? Like, I don't know.
I know.
Oh, yeah. My editor has literally made a note before I'm being like, penises don't do that. And I was like, okay, so what do they do? And she was like, let me help you.
Those are the
My
best.
editor said, "Does he have a go-go gadget arm? Because I don't think his arm can work the way you have them positioned now." Like, yeah. It's great. Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
what
I'm just
editors
here for
are
the vibes, right? I just that's why we pay them. We
Yes.
pay them
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
help us make our books better. And I love my editor to death. Her name's Casey, and she is fantastic. And I just, and she's so Midwestern, as am I. So she writes these notes. "I mean this with all the love in the world, but I'm underwhelmed." And then we go back and we make tweaks, and she's great too because she'll brainstorm it. Sometimes she is like, "What if you said this?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's the greatest thing I've ever
Nice.
heard." And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
so great. So I love seeing little pieces of her kind of woven through my books too. So it's really fun. So
But the big question
Yeah.
is, does she ever get whelmed?
yeah, she does. I do get texts like, "Oh, my God, I can't believe this. So she's a great with the commentary, like the last book, she put Shelley for president. And we all fell in love with Bougie's dad in Ice-T. Mr. Boucher is like this great, he's like Kip's dad in Heated Rivalry.
Oh,
like
yeah,
he's just
so
like,
good.
Kip's dad, just a sweet dad and just so proud of his son. And doesn't matter what he is. He loves him and whatever kind of Bougie got himself in, a little pickle and he has to work it all out. And so, his dad, his family, he loves his family. Had books where it was like, we kind of had like, this person's parents aren't alive and this person's doesn't talk to their parents and this one. And then we got to this book and we're like, we need to have a nice parent.
Yes. Yeah.
Otherwise it's turning into the Disney version where like, there's no moms. There's no,
exactly.
all the parents are dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the old YA, like where the parents are never there. So they're running around all over the place doing these crazy magic things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fun.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Okay. So you're telling us a little bit about how you draft with your doing all your dialogue first and everything like that. And you said you were more of a pantser. You don't do any plotting.
100%.
So what typically do you start with a book? Is there a specific scene or a character? What is it that sparks you to start writing one?
I also write chronologically.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Ice-T, I actually wrote the beginning. I wrote kind of a first act and a last act. I had to fill in the middle. I hated it. I never say never, but I don't ever want to have to do that again. I just like writing through the story. I honestly don't know. With Ice-T, it was really interesting because I had made a social media post about Jordan Boucher. His nickname is Bougie because he's rich. He's a self-made millionaire. Like his parents are the richest family in Canada or something. And, they're a very wealthy family. And so he doesn't even need to play hockey. He doesn't need his hockey income. He does it because he just loves it. Right. I thought that was an interesting thing for a kind of a hockey romance. And so he has like a million business ventures on top of hockey. Right. And so I had that he had a podcast. I just put in a social media podcast thing. And I think I mentioned it in Ice Block that Bougie had a podcast. So when I was looking for something to open the book with, I was like, well, let's make it his podcast, right? Like as podcasters, you guys get the appeal, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's got to have a podcast. It'd be a fun little scene to write in there. And so then that was where that came from. And Ice Block, I knew that was going to start. It overlaps Ice Contact just a little bit. There's a scene. So I knew it kind of had to start right before that. So it's like those two books were really easy. I'm already trying to drum up in my brain where book 4 exactly is going to start. So I have some ideas. Like I don't plot. I just have rough ideas in my brain. Like this is going to happen. I have a scene that I've already fleshed out, like that I know is going to get incorporated in there. But yeah, I just go on vibes. Go on vibes.
I love that.
I wish I had some process. And I always feel like I should be doing this different. But then I was reading a book by Stephen King that he wrote about writing. And oh my gosh, I'm going to space on the name. But he kind of does that
On Writing. Yeah.
It's On Writing. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So I've read like half of it and I'm like, I feel so much better about my writing process because Stephen King's making some, he's not, he's not eating peanut butter sandwiches every night for dinner. Like he's not living the starving artist life. So I feel like that's, I think everybody's brain just works different.
I think, you got to go with what works for you.
I taught piano lessons for many years and just teaching kids one-on-one. You kind of get that everyone learns different. Everyone's brain works different. Like some kids are really great at just looking at a piece of music and just playing it through and they've got it. And other kids really have to sit and practice each little section. It's very similar to writing, right? Some people really need that plot outline to just focus. My best friend growing up, she was our class valedictorian. It would take her several times to figure out how something worked. But once she got it, she was great. And me, I would just remember everything, but I was just too lazy to do my homework. And so that's why I wasn't the valedictorian. And I got a C in PE one year because I couldn't spike a volleyball because I'm 5 feet tall. And I didn't study for the volleyball quiz either. I hated PE. I keep getting these random messages on Instagram like, we are looking for new reps for our fitness line. And I'm like, I don't think
you know who I am.
3 calzones last week. I don't think I'm your target audience for this. Like, I'm just saying.
That's so funny.
Oreo should reach out to me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. If the National Calzone Association would like to spot like a celebrity endorsement, I'm here.
Yeah.
I think the best piece of advice you can give new writers is don't take anybody's advice who says you have to do
Absolutely.
something a certain way, because
Nope.
they're wrong.
They are.
There's good things to do and you can try different things and it's always good to explore, but there's not one right
Yeah.
way. There's not one right
No.
path for authors, for sure.
However you get the book done, that's the right way to do it,
Exactly.
right? No
Yeah.
matter how you get there. So, yeah.
Mhm. Although it is nice to hear how other people do things because sometimes they do it faster than
Yeah.
you.
Learn.
Not like
Yeah.
the creative side, but the admin side.
Yes. Yeah.
I like to know how people do those things because they're like, why are you doing this the hard way? And I'm like, this
I
is
know.
the way I know. And they're like, it's taking you so long because you're doing it that way. And I'm like, well,
Oh, I think it's important to
Somebody show
continue
me.
to always learn and learn new things, but I just think there are no hard and fast
But-
rules. There's not one
oh,
way.
yeah.
No, yeah. I'm always looking for like, and I love to hear other ideas because sometimes it is something you could kind of incorporate into your, like, oh, like I'm not going to plot it out, but I could take this little piece that they do and I could, do this. And, like, honestly, I should kind of write my plot down. Like, it's not like I have to stick to it, but like, I'm just not going to do like I'm just not a scene by scene. Some people, and then some people break down each scene and
Yeah.
I'm like, my brain is already overwhelmed. Like, my brain doesn't function like that. And so
Yeah.
their brain could never function like mine either.
Mhm.
So I'm just fascinated how different
Yeah,
people
for sure.
process things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
And then, so what about your writing ritual? You said that you work on the weekends. You usually do a lot of hours, but do you need a certain setup or like food in order to get into like the writing flow?
My go-to snacks are I'm a coffee addict, just black coffee. If I go right at the coffee shop, like there's a Starbucks near here and I'll go right there sometimes. Like I have 3 dachshunds, 3 little miniature dachshunds here, and they just love to tell me that they're here. They love to bark. They love to
Yeah.
whine. They want to go, all these things. Here comes one's probably going to walk by here in a minute. And I need to get out of the house a lot of times to really get my draft going. There's Chewy. He's back there trotting
Aw.
along.
Aw, cutie pie.
I know. You guys got to shake it off. So sometimes I just have to get out. Like there's just too much, and there's too much distractions here, right?
Yes.
The TV's on,
Yeah.
like stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I also have a husband who is distracting.
Seriously.
I love him dearly, but sometimes he just pops over right in the middle of the scene, and I'm crying, or it's really emotional, or it's really spicy, and I'll come over and be like, "What do you want for lunch?" And I'm like, "Just give me 10 minutes." So a lot of times I'll go to the coffee shop. I love to go to the library and write. It's really
Yes.
quiet. It's
That's
very
my favorite spot.
peaceful. Love it. So I like to go there. Our library just has weird hours, so sometimes it doesn't work. But a lot of times I do just have to write here, especially in the winter when it's snowing.
Yeah, you
and
don't want to leave
there's
the house.
kind of nasty, or if I'm not feeling good, I'll just stay here. And I just I use my little I have one of those cube timers. If you're watching the video, you can see this where you just flip it over. It's like $14 on Amazon. And so it's got like all these little time blocks. So if I'm not in a sprinting room, I'll set this even just to edit or something. Like I just like, let's sit down for 45 minutes and do edits and then go take a break, take a bathroom break, check socials and, do some other things and walk around and then get back to it. I work from home full time too. So I never leave the house. So sometimes on the weekend it's just nice to get out of here and go to Starbucks or something. And then snacks, like I love animal crackers.
Me
the
too.
ones that are like, yes, love animal crackers, but they have to be the ones that are basically like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Those are
they're
good
just the
ones.
most plain basic, but yeah, those are my go-to snacks. Yeah.
That's amazing. We got some more animal crackers in our groceries this week, and my husband was like, "Who even eats these? These are terrible." And I'm like, "No, they're the best. I love them. I
They're
buy
the
them for
absolute
me,
best.
not the kids." Just so you know.
Yeah. My dogs love them too. Like
Oh, nice.
Annie's my littlest dog. She'll pop up here and she'll be like, "Can I have a bite of that animal cracker?" She loves
So
them.
cute.
So yeah.
So cute. So when you're writing and you're getting through a book and doing all your marketing and everything, do you have any processes for self-care to ensure you don't burn out, looking after your mental health, especially while working full time?
Man, I'm a bath person. I love to take a bath at night, even on a 90-degree day. My husband keeps the air pretty cold in here. So that's 90-degree Fahrenheit for those of you in other countries.
Yes. I'm familiar with the Fahrenheit, even though we use Celsius mostly now. But
Yes, I know. I have a couple other friends. One lives in the UK and one lives in New Zealand. And so she's like, "It's 23 here." And I'm like, "It's so hot." And I'm like, "What?" Like in America, that's really cold. So, in America, we just don't do Celsius. Anyway, I love to take a bath. I love a bath bomb. I love, just relaxing. And a lot of times, even then, I'll be listening to an assisted reader read my book to me just to you catch a lot of mistakes, right? When you listen to it versus when you read it. So, I mean, it's terrible. Like, it's basically Siri reading it to you, and then she gets to the spice and it's like, this is hysterical. So, but baths are my big thing. And just sitting on the couch with my dogs. Like, I don't watch a ton of TV because I'm always writing or reading, but I love just reading other books too. And books outside my genre are great just to fill the well, get some inspiration. And so, yeah.
Now, I think you said earlier that you actually do marketing for your day job, correct?
I do. Yep.
So how much of that marketing knowledge carries over into marketing for books?
A lot. Yeah. Marketing books is very different. So I am a professional services marketer, which what that means is like I work for architects and engineers. So we're not selling like toothpaste, right? We're not selling a product. We're selling services and people and personalities, versus books, you're selling a product. But so much of it is so similar because, you have to have a brand, right? You have to have a brand that's uniquely you. Hopefully my brand comes across. I like bright colors and like, if you see my post come up, an Instagram post, you're going to know immediately that it's an Ellie K Drake post. But I do a lot of social media analytics on the back end and stuff. So like that stuff obviously transfers over. Books was just different because it's basically just trying to keep yourself in front of people, which is very similar to what I do. But it's so much just, helping readers find you, helping keep your name out there and keep face forward. So much of that. And then also I've been a musician and a songwriter for a lot of years. And that has prepared me for this too. When you're a songwriter, people are harsh. Like I don't have anything, there's nothing on the radio that I have or anything. I just was a singer-songwriter, but I would go to a lot of songwriting conventions and you get your songs critiqued or you have critique partners and they don't care about being nice. They're just like, no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. And sometimes they won't even give you a reason. They're just like, no, we're not looking for this right now. And and it really prepares you. I wrote a song once. It actually won an award, but somebody said it sounded like I was throwing a baby in a trash can.
Wow. That's so nice.
I mean, when you hear stuff like that, like it makes somebody saying like, I didn't like your FMC. Like she wasn't nice at the beginning. Like it makes that like it makes you feel better. And, you think about it too in terms of, we all like different songs. We all like different books. We all like different TV shows. And so, everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you go to the grocery store and buy ketchup and you don't like this brand of ketchup, you could just say, I don't like it. Yeah. And you're not afraid. But when it's something creative, we're all like, oh my God, my baby. And, it's really taught me to separate myself and try to look from the other person's perspective of what they're feeling and thinking. And sometimes a book just isn't for you. We all have books that are really popular and everybody's like, it's so great. And I'm like, it wasn't for me. Yeah. And that's okay. That's absolutely good. Now, you can be nice about it. You can absolutely be nice about it. And
you don't have to tag the author. You don't have to.
And you don't have to tag me in it. You don't have to send me a message that says, I didn't like this. Yeah. So.
Yeah. You can share it with your friends, your social media. You don't have to tell me.
Right. Yeah. So like it doesn't, I kind of let that stuff just kind of like water off my back. Like it doesn't bother me. Like I'm pretty thick skinned because of that. So, but I was kind of bullied as a kid too. So it's like, I have that trauma humor. Like I just let it roll off and it is what it is. So I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I'm pretty easygoing. So, except the one thing is Olivia, my first book, it was a lot of me. So somebody was like, who would ever in their 30s be dating a guy like this? And I was like, that was me. But, it is what it is. So
there's lots of 30-year-olds who do not have their lives together, who have not figured themselves out yet. And that is normal.
Yeah.
Totally normal. People. Oh, well.
Love people.
So with all your marketing experience, do you have any secret marketing tips for us today?
Gosh, I don't know that I do. I think the biggest thing with marketing is just you have to be willing to be flexible. One thing can work today and it doesn't work 6 months from now. And, you have to be consistent with your brand. I mean, being an indie author, you guys know it's a hustle. It's an absolute hustle. Like I'm on my phone so much and it's because I'm posting to TikTok or I'm posting to Instagram and, like checking things and then responding to comments and trying to share people that tag me in things, so that they feel like they're sharing my content and I'm sharing theirs in return. And it's a lot. It's a hustle. It's just you have to kind of jump commit, and you have to set limits. If you're somebody that just will get totally engrossed with it, you have to set a time. Like, okay, at 8 p.m. every night, I'm turning my phone off and I'm doing something not related to all that. And, people are like, oh, TikTok, it's so time consuming. I lay in bed at night and I post right before I go to bed. And I just post and ghost. And literally I'm just going to sleep. So it's, you have to set limits, but you always have to be learning, right? You always have to be learning, like, what's the new thing? What's the next thing? What's trending? And it's a lot. It could be a lot, but it's nice as authors because we kind of all have like groups, have groups where you can ask questions and, ask your author friends what's working for you, what hashtags are working, what songs are working. And that's nice. A couple authors have some different groups that I'm in, and it's fantastic to get some advice and see what everybody else is doing. So, and just know that too, that all of us authors, like, there's plenty of room for all of us. So we're all here to help. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'll tell you what I'm doing. And so,
we're all in it together for sure. I think that's the best attitude.
We're all in this together. That's in one of my books. Bougie loves High School Musicals. So
nice.
And
we got a little singing, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah. There you go.
I love that. So, obviously, I know you're great at marketing. I've seen your covers. I've seen the table setups you do at live events. Did you have all that branding set up before you released your first book, or did you kind of find it along the way after Ice Contact and have to go back and like solidify branding across the series or anything like that?
Question. I had basically created my own little logo for myself. Just basically looks like my signature, but it's not. And then I knew I wanted it to all be pink. I did research. I did a lot of market research on current hockey romance covers. I literally took screenshots, and I once I kind of got my covers, I put a screenshot and I put my books in a little picture with all these other hockey romance books because I wanted them to be different and stand out, but I also wanted them to look like they fit with the market, right? And so that's something I think is important. Like, I chose to not do the cartoon, like the character art covers. I just wanted something more discreet. Which is great until your aunt lends somebody her book at a grade school and she has to put it in an envelope for only this person's eyes because it looks like it could be from an, but all of them do. You just walk down the aisle at Target or the bookstore and you see what's selling. And that's kind of how I looked at book covers that I liked and saw who the designer was. And that's how I found my designer. And, but my table setup, I do a lot of booths for my work, for my day job. So I knew for a booth, you have to find a way to get people to come. It has to be welcoming. It has to be inviting. You have to have different heights on your table. I got these little stands on Amazon. It was like $20 and they all nest together. So they have these little black tubes and inside there's different levels. So you could put up a tall one and set a little character art on it or a small one. Like, you have to have different heights because it attracts people's attention. I will say, if you're an author, the number one thing you could do that's just the lowest hanging fruit to improve your booth is iron your tablecloth, which I know sounds like the silliest thing in the world, but almost all these events are in a hotel. So you have an iron which has a steam function in your hotel room, or ask somebody to borrow one. Like, I always have a little steamer with me because just if you see two tables sitting side by side and one has a iron tablecloth and one has a wrinkled one, which one is your eye more attracted to? You're like, oh, I'm going to go to this one. It's just about showing a clean, smooth aesthetic for people to want to stop by your booth. And I have a skee ball machine that comes with me to events. It's a pain in the butt to haul that thing around, and every event I'm like, I'm not bringing this anymore. And then everybody walks up to my table, oh, it's skee ball. And so I bring it everywhere, and it's got flashing lights on it. And, obviously it all goes with my brand and my personality. I will tell you, I hate the color beige because it's just the most un-me color ever. But no offense to all the beige lovers out there. It's just not my color wheel. But so yeah, I kind of had an idea of what I wanted it to be, but it has kind of evolved over time. But I kind of knew what I was doing and creating a brand. So it's kind of like writing. I just, vibes.
I love that. For the tablecloths, I have the stretchy ones, so they never get wrinkled.
Yes, those are great. Those are fantastic.
I have a 6-foot one and an 8-foot one. Highly recommend.
Highly recommend those too.
Got those on
my
Amazon
banner.
Yeah.
I bought a banner. I think it's from Fabric Sign Guys. It sounds fake, but it's legit. And it's the one I had at Sports Romance Con, and it stretches over these poles, and then it zips on the bottom, so it pulls it tight.
Nice.
So you don't have to wrinkle. You don't have to iron it either. So yeah, and you can set it up in like 5 minutes. It's so fast.
Nice.
So yeah, find things that make your life easy.
Yeah, definitely.
that pull people to your table. So mine, I kind of regret putting my giant face on it, but like, it works. You know,
You're
it's
the
me.
brand.
Yeah.
I'm the brand. Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. So you're talking about Sports Romance Con. I went the first year, but I had to cancel this year. You and Albie
Yeah.
were both there this year. I was sad I couldn't go, but hopefully next year. So how did you find it?
I had been messaging with Steph CR. She's one of the organizers and another hockey romance author. And she was like, hey, you should sign up for this. So I did, and I got in, and I was very excited. It was my first book con ever. I didn't even know what to expect. And it was so fun. It's just so fun to go, and you could talk about sports. And, you know, some people are there and they don't know anything about sports, but they love sports romance. And we love that too. I happen to just be a huge sports fan of, like, I love sports in general, but absolutely love hockey. And that's what kind of made me want to write a hockey romance too, is because I just love the sport. And but yeah, like, it was so fun, and I was so excited to get to go back a second year. And Albie saved my life basically at Sports Romance Con. I was having a very bad vertigo attack, and I barely made it back to the hotel. And she was like, "Are you okay?" No. She walked me back to my hotel room and got me settled, and it was so sweet. I randomly had stopped by your table that day, like, just randomly. It was a blizzard. It was an absolute blizzard, so it was really slow. There wasn't a lot of readers there that day, but so we were all the authors. Yes, understandably. And so it was kind of nice though, because one thing about book cons is that authors, we don't get to chat with each other. We're so busy, and we're all working, and we all understand that. But you never get time to go meet new people. So I just randomly stopped by your table, and we were talking about your books. And then it was like a few hours later, after the con was over, and I was like walking through the Mall of America, hugging the lampposts in the food court. And I was like, if I could just get to the next lamppost, I'll be fine. And there's 3 lampposts and then the hotel. So I was like, I know I could get there. And then I'm thinking too, like, I've just signed all these books for all these people. And here I am looking like a fall down drunk in the mall. People are probably like, boy, Ellie got sauced after the sign. If you saw me, I was having a bad vertigo episode. So but Albie took me back to my hotel room. It was so nice. And she made sure I got settled. So thank you so much. I owe you.
Of course. We all have to take care of each other.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. I would have done the same for you. But yeah,
maybe
it's
next
fun.
year
It's
I'll
great
get sauced and you can carry me back.
I know. I will. If you get sauced, I'll give you my number. You just text me. I'll come get you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's super fun. I'm hopeful that I get to go back again next year. And it's such a great event. It's so well run.
Yeah.
And so much fun. I was on a panel. It was fantastic. And everybody we all just had a blast. So yeah.
It was really good. Do you have any other live events coming up before you do SRC 2027?
I do.
Hopefully.
I was just pulling that up before we got on here. So July 18th and 19th, I'm going to be at a grown-up book fair in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. So I'm very excited about that. August 15th, I'm going to be at a back to old school book fair in St. Louis. It's like a scholastic book fair for adults. So I'm very excited. October 31st, I'm going to be at Meet Me in Milwaukee, which is here in Milwaukee on Halloween. So that'll be fun. And then I'll also be at Romancing the Midwest in Madison, Wisconsin. And that is April 30th and May 1st next year. So nice. So that's, I've, because of my vertigo issues, I've had to keep things more local this year because I had surgery a few weeks ago and I wasn't sure how I would be feeling and how that would go. But things look good. So I'm hopeful that next year I'll be able to do some more out of state signings. So I have family in St. Louis. I travel there all the time. So that's an easy one to do. But so
Myself,
book cons are fun.
And another author are working on doing like a sports romance con type event in Canada. So, keep your eyes
I've
posted.
never been to Canada. I'm dying to go.
Yeah.
So my husband and I want to take a trip to Toronto because we want to go to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yes. So cool.
Yeah,
You get to see
we've
the
always
Stanley
wanted to
Cup.
go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I would love to go. So we would love to go to Canada, but I would love even more to come for a work expense.
Yeah. This would be like, so I live in Hamilton, which is, they filmed a bunch of scenes from Heated Rivalry there. So we're hoping if we can
even
have
more
it around,
reason to go.
Yeah, exactly. We can have it around here and,
Have a
do
little
little
tour.
visits. Yeah, it'd be fun. So anyway,
I'm down.
something
I'll come to the cottage.
we're working on. We'll definitely keep you posted.
I love it.
Yeah.
And as for the sports, are you planning on staying in the sports subgenre, or do you ever see yourself branching out to other subgenres of romance?
I get asked that all the time, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like, I'm just, again, vibes. Right now, like I have a couple things spun off, a spin-off series, which is hockey, but it'll be a little different. That's all I can say. Let's be honest, I'm not planning that far ahead. But I do, like, I just love sports. My grandmas were huge sports fans. All of my grandmas were really huge sports fans. I grew up in Champaign, Illinois, which is where the University of Illinois is. And so it's a Big Ten school. When you're young, you always want to get away from home. And that's all I wanted to do when I, turned 18. And then when you move away, you're like, Champaign was kind of a big deal. Like U of I is kind of a big university. I should have just went there. But it's so huge. Like I would love to do some sort of March Madness basketball, like some sort of romance that happens during March Madness or something, because I feel like I am in March Madness. Like we have an extra TV and we got it for like, I don't know, we bought a car and it came with the free TV and we're like, what are we going to do with this? We bought this rolling cart, like when you're in school and they roll in the TV so you can like watch a video, and we roll it in our living room. And so we'll have two games going at once so we can be watching both at the same time. We love March Madness. So is my whole family. We have a bracket and we all, just give each other shit in this group chat. So it's fun. That would be something I would like love to write, but my cousin works for an NFL team, so I kind of have some insight into what goes on there. So that's actually my cousin's husband, and she used to be an NFL cheerleader. Oh, cool. So I kind of have some insight into some different sports. And my brother-in-law does some AV work for. He used to work for an NHL team, and now he actually does some part-time work for Major League Baseball teams. I kind of have a lot of insight. I like to do a lot of research when I do things. I like to know, it's not completely accurate. Nothing ever is, right? Like, and we have to embellish things because it's fiction. So I have some other ideas. I don't know what'll pop out, but for now, I'm just stuck to hockey. So we'll see who talks to me and where I go. So
nice, love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we always like to ask, like, especially sports romance authors, this question. But with heated rivalry and now off campus, do you think that we'll have continued popularity of hockey, or do you think another sport's going to come in and overshadow hockey as the biggest sports romance?
Tell you what, as a hockey romance author, I could not be more happy that all these hockey shows are coming out, because everybody's, I just finished off campus. What can I read next? And
yes, I know.
It's great. A lot of people too are just discovering hockey romance. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to continue to ride a wave. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to end soon. At some point, it may kind of start to, hit a downturn, and but I think it's going to stick around for a while. So as kind of the top, one of the top sports and romance subgenres, I think like rugby is going to start to make a big. I really think rugby is going to start to make a big come, especially with what's her name, Iona Mar, the rugby player. Like,
yes,
love her. Cool. And I think like probably we'll start to see some female rugby player books come out. There are a few now, but I think that especially with the Summer Olympics coming up, they're 2 years away? I think I think that will be a big draw, because after the last one, she got so popular. So I think, I don't know. That's my prediction. I could be totally wrong, but I think F1's kind of making a run right now. There's a lot of F1 romances coming out. And you get the roller derby stuff. I love roller derby. Love it. I need to read it because I haven't. Are your books out yet? Your roller derby books out?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have, so in my hockey romance series, the second book in my hockey romance is she's a roller derby. And then I started a roller derby romance series. That's a spinoff. It's her best friend.
Okay.
So I have two pretty much out.
I've been to roller derbies and they're so fun. Like it's such a fun, it's like hockey. It's like so fast paced and
full contact.
Love it.
Yeah.
And full contact. Yes. So I think that's going to probably that'd be another thing I'd love to see get really popular. Yes. Yeah. Manifesting that for both of you.
Yay. Thank you.
I liked it so much. I joined the Learn to Skate program at my roller derby local league. So I've been doing that, and I've been having so much fun. It's so fun.
I love it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so fun. Yeah.
And I'm supporting her from a distance because that sounds like it would be really violent. So I'm gonna watch.
When I was in college, they were starting a rugby team at my college. Like they were just starting a women's rugby team, and they were just like, anybody can join. And I thought about it for a hot second. And then I saw like how beat up they got. And I'm 5 feet tall. I am 5'0". So I was like, I don't think this is probably for me. I'll just stick to piano.
Yeah. Exactly.
When I was in university, my first year of university, we joined this ultimate Frisbee team.
Frisbee.
Yeah. And the problem is I'm really competitive, but I don't really like that side of me. So then they ended up calling me Tank, my friends. They gave me a nickname. I never tell anybody this. Now I've told everybody. So there you go.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so that was my foray into, if I got into contact sports, I think it would be pretty real.
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah. Who knew Frisbee was that?
Well,
dangerous.
ultimate
yeah.
Frisbee.
Ultimate Frisbee. Okay, yeah.
We used to have that at my school. We used to call it like at Touchdown Mary, but so many people were having knee injuries and getting like
oh my gosh,
stuff in their knees that like they were like, this is a real problem.
That's so funny. My goodness. Well, I guess we could do an ultimate Frisbee.
I have one.
Well, there you go.
I have one. It's halfway done.
Frolf.
Well, thank
Frisbee
you.
golf, Frolf. Yeah.
Or disc golf. There's
disc golf. Yeah, disc golf is we have a disc golf park here, and it's always like packed. And I'm like, who is playing this? Like,
they have like championships. Yeah, a cousin of mine plays, and she like travels all over for it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, they put the cornhole championships on. They're like on TV now. Like, I'm like, who knew this was like a thing?
I literally watch ESPN Ocho to like find ideas for my upcoming.
Yes, whoever. Let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
Who thought that would be an actual channel?
Who thought it'd
ESPN
become my favorite channel?
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
That's awesome.
It's the most random sports. It's so great. I love watching these. I will say too, I think curling is going to make another huge run. Like the curling books.
Jillian Arley, I think, has a curling book.
Jillian has it. It's so good. Such a good curling book. And it's a curler and a female hockey player. And so it's so great. Devoured that. So good. And I think I'm excited to see
we take
more
our
curling books. So especially
very seriously here in Canada. So
yes. Yeah. And my firm that I work for, we've designed some curling facilities.
Oh, cool.
And I want to do it. I feel like I would break a hip, but it looks fun. It looks easy, and it is not. It is not easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here in Wisconsin, too, we have a lot of curling. We have a lot of curling facilities. Wisconsin's a big hockey state, and the speed skating. I may have to write a speed skating before the next Olympics because I grew up loving Bonnie Blair. I don't know if you know who Bonnie Blair is. She's tied with, I'm never going to remember her name, but the bobsledder that broke a record this last Olympics. What is her name? Oh my gosh. I'll think of it. But Bonnie Blair in the 80s and 90s was like premier women's figure skating. And she's amazing. And she lived in Champaign, Illinois, where I grew up. So it's like you go to all the pizza parlors. There's a sign poster of Bonnie Blair. It's great. But she lives here in Wisconsin. And so the speed skating trials are here a lot of times. I think those are fun. So I would love to go watch those. And we kind of forget about a lot of those sports outside of the Olympics, but they're a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And well, esports have their own Olympics now, too.
Yes. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
None of this was happening when back in the 1900s when I was
1900s.
growing up. So
I grew up around the 1900s too, so I get it.
One of my author friends said, I have this novella that's set in the 80s, and she's like, so it's a historical romance. And I'm like, yes, but
I feel like there's a lot of that.
Technically, it is.
A lot of the
it's 40.
Nostalgia.
The 80s are 40 years behind. I mean, it's historic. Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Yeah.
I know, but like literally, there's a contemporary. No, it's a. What is it? There's a historical romance like that's for the 80s. Or it's like a 20th century historical romance category on Kindle.
No.
And I was like, well, I'm going to put my book in there.
Oh my God.
I've seen a lot of them lately. Like, I just think it's coming. People are getting that nostalgia and they want to read those. And I think that's amazing. And also it was a simpler time. I know we like to talk about, this time was better. And, we've made a lot of strides since then and things. But the lack of social media, the lack of cell phones was a benefit. It wasn't a drawback. Like, it was a simpler time.
I have a whole author's note in the beginning of this book because it's like, welcome to the 1900s. There was no internet. When you had to look for a job, you had to go get a newspaper. The newspaper told you what was on TV. That's where you got all that information. And when you leave a tab at a bar, you didn't have a debit card. You didn't give them your debit card. You told them your name and they kept a tab of what you ordered, which is why it's called a tab. And like I had to list all these things out so that people would understand. And there was no cell phone. So and you needed to go to hold somebody else, you had to find a payphone. Yeah. And somebody had to stay home to make sure you called, right? It's just,
you had to actually learn phone numbers.
Yes, exactly.
I knew everybody's phone number. I couldn't tell you anybody's phone number. I know my husband's. I have it memorized for a case of emergencies, but I don't know anybody else's. So
I can call my work phone and that's it. And the problem is I'm the only one who answers that. And if I'm not there, nobody's answering that
nobody's
phone.
going to get it.
No.
It's just such a different time, but such great music and such nostalgia. And I peppered a lot of Wisconsin into this book too. So I had an alpha reader that she lives here in Wisconsin too. And she's like, I am eating up every one of these Wisconsin references. So, and there's not any cheese references, just so you know. There's no cheese references. But I put a lot of fun things in there, and it was really fun to write. Like I listened to basically Billy Joel on repeat while I was writing it, and because it's not country, but it's not like rock, 80s rock, and Piano Man is the ultimate. Like he's writing it in a bar, he's singing it in a bar.
For
so
sure.
what better? So yeah, super fun.
Love it. Okay, so if your books were made into a series, or to be made into like a TV series, do you have a dream cast or a dream director?
Oh man. Well, any director. I mean, let's be honest. Like, if Shonda Rhimes wanted to pick up my books tomorrow, like I'm here for it. She's like got Midas, it just turns to gold. But I think I've always said I pictured Glenn Powell as Hayes Larson because he's a blonde MMC, and now I'm like, oh, that's Stephen Cale from Off Campus. Like, that's a great.
De Laurentiis in there. Yeah.
I'm sorry, blonde MMCs get so much hate.
I just
and you can try them
about that the other
from
day.
my cold dead hands.
Yes.
Love a blonde MMC. It's so funny. But yeah, like that he would be a great pick for Hayes. And like, I don't know. People always ask about Olivia and I'm like, well, like obviously the redhead MMC. So I don't know. Somebody like she's a little probably older because she's probably like my age, but Isla Fisher, like somebody like that, or so I don't know. Maybe Anna Kendrick would be a fun like cast, but
definitely.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's fun. Like we can all dream of having our shows. Adapted, but whenever that happens, the right people will come along at the right time. So I love hearing people like, who would you fan cast as this? Yes. So I don't think about it too much. I feel like I'm just so in the stories. Like I don't.
Yeah.
But I have got some input in the narrators for my upcoming books, and so that was really fun. Savannah Thomas did Ice Block, and she is just fantastic. She did the best Maggie. Like, there's no one else I could picture voicing Maggie. And she just got my sense of humor, and just came through her voice on that audiobook. And we found John Masterson did a great Russian accent for Vladdy, so that was great. And then Ice Contact, I got Ellie Gossage, and she's fantastic. And she just recently did Mate by Allie Hazelwood. So she was a fantastic Olivia. And so, and the casting was just announced for Ice-Seek, and that's going to be Vanessa Vasquez. So I need somebody that's got that tough female, badass FMC voice. And, oh my gosh, the male narrator, I can't think of his name at the moment, but he's great too. Like, I know he'll be a great bougie. I needed somebody that was going to be funny and, kind of childish, jovial. Kind of a vibe. So I didn't want anybody that was like too serious. So it's fun to help cast those. That's like cool. I don't get to just flat out pick who it is, but I can make suggestions. My audiobooks are through Tantor.
Gotcha.
And so it's fun I get a little creative say in that. So it's really fun to kind of feel like you're casting a show. So yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
And I know for some authors, like having their books be made into like TV show or a movie is how they'll know that they've made it as an author. But what about for you? How will you know that you've made it as an author that's not monetary?
I feel like the fact that so many people are reading my books, like I feel like that's what brings me the greatest joy, is that somebody reads a book and, it helps them get through a difficult time, or it made them laugh. I have a friend I sent an early arc of Ice-Seek to, and she was just going through a rough time. There was a lot going on where she lived and a lot going on personally. And I was just like, just have this, just read it. She's like, I don't think I could post a review. I'm like, there's no review necessary. Just take it. It's fine. And she loved it, and it just meant the world to her, and things like that. Just people telling you that your story help them get through a difficult time. It's just kind of the same thing with songwriting, like you listen to a song and it helps you kind of heal something inside you, or, for those things to me make me feel like what I'm doing is making a difference. And, money is nice. And obviously we have to have money to live, like you have to buy things, you have to buy food and healthcare and, So those things are important, but just like from that perspective, I feel like I'm already very successful at what I do, because I get so much positive feedback on my books, and that to me always means more than rankings or money, or those things are great, and obviously those things help you move up in your career, but I don't know. I always feel like with any career, like, I don't know that there's ever a point where like I will feel like I have made it. You're just kind of always striving for the next thing. And like I celebrate all my wins. I celebrate every page read
Good for you.
milestone. And, like I'm just a big celebrate my wins, and I celebrate everybody else's wins too. I love to, what's happening in your world. And I'm a very positive person. I'm always kind of a glass half full. I'm married to a glass half empty person, so we balance each other out. So
Amazing.
yeah, he's the person that turns the sports games off with like 5 minutes ago. He's like, we're not going to win. And he just goes in the other room. He's like, I can't even watch it. And I'm like, till the last second, I'm like, we still have a chance. There's 30 seconds left. We're down by 5, but we could do it. I'm that person. And so I always joke with some of my other friends. I'm just cheerleader Ellie. I mean, there are days, don't get me wrong, that I need to vent. I'm having a rough day, or,
For sure.
you get like somebody returned an ebook the other day, and I was like, my Kindle fund was in the negative, and I was like, well, that sucks, but I'll move on with my life. But it's like when you see the negative on your dashboard, it's like, did you have to return it?
Seriously.
But it is what it is. So yeah.
For sure. For sure. So speaking of readers that we appreciate, we always ask our authors one question that you'd like to ask the readers and listeners. And we post it on our Instagram, or they can comment on the YouTube video. So what's one question you'd love to ask readers?
Oh gosh, man, I love to know like what people love about a book. Like what's a favorite line that you've had? Like what in my book made you really laugh out loud? What made you, I feel like, or swoon? Like I love hearing stuff like that. And I feel like, especially with reviews, we don't get a lot of that, because they kind of stay off the reviews a lot of times. Yeah. And so, but I love to know what people love in a book. Like what makes you just devour a book? What makes you laugh out loud? Those kind of things are what I always like to know from a reader perspective, because, I just always have the thing, like you have to write a story that you can be proud of, and that's the most important thing. But every reader interprets it different, so I always like to know what people enjoy, what's their favorite thing about a book, or what especially if anything really hit me hard and I really liked it. This really kind of helped me move forward in something in my life, or helped me take a risk I didn't think I would take. So I love to hear stories like that, and not just in my books, but any book. So yeah,
For sure. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We can turn it into a question.
Yeah. Take all that and cut it down to one sentence.
Okay, so we do have one final question for you. If you could read any trope for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Man, I really
The
love
hard one.
Enemies to Lovers. Enemies to Lovers is just like I love it. I could probably read that forever. Second only, I would say close second place is Insta Love. I just love a good little palate cleanser with no third act breakup. I just like, give it to me. Like, put a lot of spice in there. Like, that's another one. But I love Enemies to Lovers. It's so great to see, people overcoming their differences and coming together. And, I don't know. I love an opposites attract kind of a trope. So, yeah, I love Enemies to Lovers. It's so great. There's just enough angst. And then, yeah, when they get together, though, it's just like, look out. That's what I love. So, yeah.
When that hate turns into something totally different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Love it.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Love it.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming out and letting us peek behind the curtain of your author life, Ellie. Before we let you go, can you let our listeners know where to find you and join your reader community? And we'll post these links in the show notes as well.
Awesome. I'm most active on Instagram. It's at Ellie K Drake. And then I am also, I have a website, ellieKdrake.com, all my books, and I have some merch available there. And I have a newsletter you can sign up on my website that goes out monthly. Just with updates on what's going on, and I highlight some other author books as well. And yeah, I'm on the TikTok. It's all at Ellie K Drake, almost everywhere, I think. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram most of the time. And if you want to get a hold of me, that's the best way to get a hold of me. So
Awesome.
yeah.
We also want to remind our listeners that you can pre-order the 4th book in Ellie's Milwaukee Steel Riders series right now, and keep an eye out for those 2 novellas coming out. But if there are any questions that you feel we should have asked and failed to, drop them in the comments below.
Thank you so much. It was great having you on.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks,
Thank you.
ladies.
Thanks for getting dirty with us. If you had fun, leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. New episodes will be released every Wednesday, and we've got an amazing lineup of authors to share with you.
If there's someone you'd love to see on our show, or you've got burning questions for your favorite authors, send us an email to backstagewiththebookbabes@gmail.com, or leave us a comment on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, Backstage with the Book Babes. Links and applications for authors to join us as guests are at linktree/backstage with the book babes.
You can follow me, Albie Blake, with that handle on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok.
You can follow me, Nikki Jewell, and learn about my books at authornikkijewell.com. I'm also on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at NikkiJewell_books.
Thanks again for joining the party. Keep turning those pages and keep it spicy.